ship's log. It is 5/2/2183 on the DV Misectet. And welcome to In the Dark with me, your charming host Aiden, and my lovely assistant Palace.
Hello, I'm Palace, Aiden's AI assistant.
Yeah, and if you're asking yourself, oh, what's that stand for? I've never heard of that model. It's because it doesn't stand for anything. You're telling me you drop a few $1,000s American on a robot assistant to help you out and keep you company on a long voyage. And you just keep the name on the box? Really? Like, as I've seen people do this, but if you have one creative bone in your entire body, do something. I've done quite a lot myself. She's basically a custom job at this point. But even if you guys have no technical skills, you've got to fucking name the thing. This isn't even a thing I just see the real and lazy do. There's such a draw in science fiction for the last century to want to have any robot or AI character name be some kind of acronym. Least realistic part of Blade Runner 2049 for me. I think Denis Villeneuve is a genius, and we'll get to that later. But, I cannot believe that Joy is called that because that's the model name. I know Kay is a replicant, and I know he's not really meant to be creative, but the point of the movie is that he is becoming more of a person. And having him name his girlfriend something that isn't just, a product name would be kind of a big step in that. I think it's a big missed opportunity for that to not happen. I think he could have already done it maybe before, or it could have been something he did at some point during the movie.
Alright, I think we should get back on topic here.
Yeah, that's probably good. Alright, well, welcome to In the Dark episode 1, a podcast where we talk about,
stuff.
Yeah, kind of whatever, but I think we both know that we're going to trend in a certain direction here, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, as I was saying, I was going to talk about what it's like being darker. I mean, I quite like this job, so I think it's interesting to talk about. Other things I think are interesting to talk about are classic media, and some random history and technology subjects that I find interesting.
Yeah, you really narrowed it down a lot there with 4 whole categories.
Why did I tell you to be so snarky for this? What was I thinking?
You said something about how conflict drives engagement, and how if I was too agreeable, it would be boring for listeners. I have a recording I could play if you want.
No, let's just move on, fellas. Okay, because if I had to narrow it down any farther, it's going to be a lot of media from sort of a 25-year radius of the year 2000. Some stuff when movies started getting good. There was a lot of good stuff around then. And then, sort of 2025-ish, you get AI stuff starting to happen, all the investment in that. Quality. No offense.
None taken.
Alright, I need to stop talking about the podcast and actually just record and talk about what we're planning on talking about.
That counts as talking about the podcast instead of just recording what we were going to talk about.
Okay, Dune.
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 Dune. Dune.
Dune.
Dune.
Dune.
Dune. Dune. Dune. Dune. Dune. Dune. Dune.
And we synced it.
We did.
Wow. Okay. Oh, yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Absolutely beautiful. I'm just kind of going off memory here, but it's a really good looking movie.
Skill issue.
Well, yeah, but you can't actually appreciate beauty to the same extent I can, so fucking skill issue you.
I literally could not care if I tried, which I can't. It's not possible.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not possible.
You're just jealous that I have all the ornithopter scenes playing simultaneously in my head right now, and you can't see them.
I mean, what I am, and that's uncalled for, but we have to get started somewhere, and let's just start with that, actually, because I do think the ornithopters are really interesting. They're pretty unique for the genre, really mechanical, a lot of moving parts, old-fashioned analog controls for everything. Really grounds them in reality as something physical and real, in a way that the sort of whooshy floating spaceships in Star Wars just don't. In a lot of science fiction, high-tech means simple, no moving parts, sort of approaching magic. Machines just do what they need to do without any in-between steps. Spaceships take off by making themselves go up. Not need lift or thrust off of anything, they just move. The ornithopters are the complete opposite of the standard. They have more moving parts than even a modern plane, and each of these parts moves in such a more complicated way. Flight has not in any way moved past being based on lift and air resistance. It's in fact just gotten even better at using it in a more complicated way. I think this is also true of society in Dune, in a certain way. They haven't evolved or in any way moved past any of the conflicts of old. Conflicts and structures have just become more convoluted and intricate at a level we could not imagine living in or taking part in.
Yeah, it's not like the future makes the laws of physics different. Moving a ship like that takes force, and not the magic kind. The ornithopters really seem to have weight to them, like the wings are running for a bit to get up to speed before they take off, and you hear them the whole time. The camera's even bouncing a bit inside of the thopter as you're watching the dialogue, and spoiler, when they crash, it sounds heavy.
I don't think I ever really noticed the camera bouncing up and down. I'm usually kind of distracted by looking at everything in the shot to really realize that it's all vibrating. Saying they feel like they have weight to them is exactly right. Everything does, and it really makes a difference to make that really clear. And on the crash sound, could you play that effect for me?
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, you got some shake. Oh, shit breaking? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Spinning? Yeah, I remember it spins. Now?
Yes, it's spinning.
Alright, hurtling? That's some strong hurtling noises.
Yeah.
It's good shit. Crash. Oh, you can hear the fucking sand and shit. Just covered in sand. Getting right in that dune. Just right. It's
So-
fucking covered in sand.
It's so sandy.
It's so sand.
So
Dune is so sandy. What they don't tell you, Dune's about sand.
Like a sand dune.
Yeah. Yeah.
The crash is done. I'll stop it now.
Alright, yeah. Fucking beautiful sound design work on that now that it's done. You can, I mean, as I just said, you can hear the sand and everything. It's really well done. It's about sand. I do want to circle back, though, to your point about the laws of physics not changing and ask you, where are we right now? What are we doing?
Well, about that. We're on a spaceship going from Earth to Alpha Centauri at faster than light speeds through an alternate plane of reality where there is no light that we enter by turning on a really powerful computer.
You shouldn't forget the ship has a lot of LEDs strapped to the back of it that make it accelerate much faster than would be survivable, but doesn't turn me to mush. And how it works, who knows?
Weak, but also it was getting to be too much sentence, and I needed to end it somewhere.
Yeah, I know it's a lot. We take it all for granted these days, but it's part of my job, day-to-day life, and despite that, if you tried to explain it to physicists back in the day, blank stares. Though, to be fair, physicists now not terribly understanding of what's going on because no one will fund them. Because if we already have efficient, fast and light travel, why are we funding research into it anymore?
Because nothing makes any sense still, and you want to know what's going on?
Yeah, but no one with power actually gives a shit about knowledge for knowledge's sake. I do agree that we probably aren't ever going to find anything that changes physics completely as it affects people's classic day-to-day lives, but there are little edge cases like that you can sort of exploit. Also, I was going to say our day-to-day lives, but then I remembered that these changes do affect us, but we aren't normal people.
I'm not people.
You know what I mean, okay? I mean that no one is ever going to invent something that turns electricity into something moving up. Nothing can ever make anything weightless. Everyday normal physics that, give me a job.
Trash man.
Sure. The physics that John, age 36, garbage collector, deals with while picking up trash aren't ever going to change. But certain weird edge cases could change. Like, legit, who before 2030 would have thought that an OpenAI server would fall into the void during testing?
Nobody would have, but yeah, that's what I meant. Classical physics doesn't change. I understand edge cases and new scenarios are where stuff starts getting peculiar.
Yeah, I think we can agree there, I think.
Okay, do we want to move on to Dune Part 2? It was in the rough outline that you gave me.
Animals. What can I say?
Oh, the little guys, more deep!
Yeah, I was thinking the worms, but sure, we can go with those. I know you like little creatures.
Hey, I mean, you're not wrong, but they're interesting.
Kinda. They become the protagonist's namesake in their own right. Don't really do much.
They're little mice.
Yeah, little mice, not too important to space feudalism.
Okay, that's fair, but I still like them.
I like them too. I think they're cool. I think when they showed up in both movies, there were good scenes. I just wouldn't have thought of them before the mile-long worms relevant to plot, power the space feudalism, 5 or so scenes, very important scenes.
Well, I'm not you, am I?
No, you aren't. Though, actually, interesting you brought up the little mice, because I think I heard something through the grapevine about someone trying to genetically engineer some real jerboas to be able to do like the ear thing where the like water collects on the ear and it goes down in their mouth. There's some beetles that do like a similar thing. So they're borrowing the beetle genes, putting them on the mice. They're doing it to help colonization efforts on like actual Arrakis, Texas, New Deseret if you're Mormon. Uh, you know,
They're gonna put them with the Mormons.
I mean, the hope is that they're going to spread out through more of the planet to fix the problem that there's big swaths of the planet that are too dry for any life that isn't like a couple bacteria that we sent over there because they would be able to live there. It would be cooler if they tried to make the worms. Worms are cool. Worms. I like worms.
Worms are good.
Can you actually think of anything of substance to say about the worms? Because like I think the worm travel scenes are really visually evocative, and I think the chittering sound they gave them is really interesting and like a really cool sound effect to give a worm creature. But honestly, I feel like we've talked a lot about Dune, and we can make Dune Part 2 its own episode, really.
Yeah, I don't really have anything good to say about Dune right now either, so maybe it's just best to save it for another time.
All right, well, I think that's all we really have to say about Dune. So, shall we move on to the garbling we have on board?
Yeah, I can take a look at some of that. Hope it's interesting.
It's probably mostly porn.
Yeah, it's always mostly porn, but what else would space truckers be keeping on them?
Mostly porn and some dark posts.
I just don't get dark posts.
It's a picture of nothing. Was funny in that.
A picture of literally anything else.
Yeah, but it's like a real photo. You take a camera, point it at something, no light, dark, perfectly dark photo.
Except when they're lying.
Yeah, but that's also kind of part of the bit. Like, it's impossible to tell if it's a real dark poster if someone fucking made a fake one. But I don't know how to explain how it's funny. It's just the context. It's
I don't get it. There's no joke.
You just don't get the humor behind sort of random bullshit.
You would be correct.
Moving on, what are you finding today? Anything worth talking about?
Well, a lot of the usual, though actually a weird amount of fanfiction and amateur writing. Mostly smut, to be clear.
Huh, must trade with someone who's into that kind of thing. Though, it's a bit rare nowadays, but I still don't think it's really going to be worth looking at, yeah.
I don't know, you ever read My Immortal? It's old, but it's considered to be the pinnacle of unintentionally funny fanfiction of the 2000s.
Wow, what a really impressive category to be the pinnacle of. Maybe another time. I think we've talked enough old media for the day.
True. Other than that, I'm also finding several podcasts made by others, various kinds of music, both professional and amateur, a collection of funny sound effects, a folder full of the funniest presidential speech mistakes with seemingly half of its contents being from 2025 to 2028.
Yeah, he was known for really weird speeches, and also not really a very well-liked guy.
Do you want to listen to that?
Not really. It feels too normal. We've been bartering with space carriers in space. We have to find something more unique than 100-year-old clips of presidents.
Well, I have found something odd. I just didn't bring it up because it didn't seem like it would make good conversation.
What is it?
There's a drive here. Seems like we picked it up around Mars. Deimos.
Okay, and we stopped on Deimos to pick up some cargo, bartered a few flashes, the usual fare.
Well, if you'd let me finish, one of the flash drives appears to have an incredibly large encrypted folder on it.
Okay, that's kind of unusual for anything we bartered for, but maybe it was just a personal drive that they handed us by mistake. Forgot to wipe it before filling it with memes.
I thought it seemed normal at first, too. It has all the standard content one would expect to find on a traded drive.
It's too normal.
Except for this one folder I didn't check until we started talking. There's an unencrypted file simply named Trash that appears to be some sort of instructions directed to a man named Mr. J, telling him to delete the file and to trade the drive with a ship it refers to as the Solar Bark, and to meet at a specific address.
Holy shit, it's John, age 36.
Does this not seem suspicious to you?
It does. I'm just trying to lighten the mood a little bit.
It's upset you so much already? There isn't anything to suggest it's a threat.
There aren't any delivery instructions, are there?
I've said everything that isn't encrypted.
Well, in that case, I don't think there's any version of this that is good for us right now. Because here's our options. Either this was not meant for us. They gave it to the wrong ship, because the silver bark could refer to us. That's what our ship's name means, but it could also be a code name for a different vessel, and the person that was sending it fucked it up. Or it was meant for us, but if it was meant for us, we don't know where we're supposed to take it. I don't know how they'd pick it up without us knowing where we're supposed to take it. The only solution is, I think, that they may be getting us to get it.
Yeah. Does not sound good for us.
No, What is there that we can do about this situation?
I do not know.
I mean, I guess. Let me see. If it's a thing, we're not supposed to have, they're gonna come looking for us, and they'll do that by coming and finding us. If it's a thing we are supposed to have and they're trying to ambush us, they're also going to come and find us. Now, it make it a lot harder for them to come find us if we aren't where we're supposed to be.
Yeah, that all makes sense.
Alright, so let's just get to somewhere where we aren't supposed to be. You're the one with, like, the encyclopedic knowledge. How would we do that?
Well, either we execute the standard flip procedure and start accelerating back towards the sun, or we develop a procedure to change course to Ross 128 on the spot.
Alright, neither of those sound good. Like, they sound pretty bad, both of them. First one will be back where we were, so whoever it was that fucking did this probably be able to find us again. Not escaping any consequences. Maybe a little bit, because we'll be in a developed area instead of fucking Alpha Centauri. But, it would also take a while, I'd assume. Like, what has that looking?
Well, we have enough fuel to decelerate and burn in the opposite direction, but we don't have enough fuel to burn at 1G the whole way back. So we'd be crawling back, and you'd have to be at less gravity for most of it.
Yeah, I'm not risking being in the pitch black and zero gravity. I'm used to one of those at a time, but I'm not spending multiple days on end without sight or weight.
Well, if we keep acceleration to 0.2 Gs, we'd get back in 4 months.
Yeah, that's so much longer than it takes to get to Alpha Centauri, just like the one way. So, not doing that. Also, cannot believe that food supplies would last that long.
Technically, if you starved yourself a bit, you'd make it.
Yeah, I'm not fucking doing that. We'd also be being chased. As I said earlier, we'd be being fucking chased by whoever's shit we have. So, and I'd be in a shitload of debt from all the field delivery, so I'd be broke.
All right then, Ross 128B. It'll be a difficult turn to make accurate with all the electronics acting up, but we should make it there pretty quick. No danger of running out of fuel or food.
Okay, but then I'm pretty sure if we were to miss and fuck it up, we'd be stranded outside of the system, and then we'd run out of fuel and food.
Correct.
Okay, anything else? Like, those sound bad.
We could always try to make it to Alpha Centauri and hope we could reach the authorities before we get ambushed.
Okay, so trust the most patriotic and useless pigs in all of settled space to protect us from what is either organized crime, a corporate conspiracy, or, let's be honest, this might be just the United States that we're dealing with. This might be like some NSA shit. Yeah, I'm good on that one. What else you got?
I figured you wouldn't like that option, but I'm sorry, there isn't any other option other than picking the least painful way to die, which, for your information, would probably be to turn off the air scrubbers for you to slowly lose oxygen.
Okay, so not doing that, thank you. I guess the only option's Ross then. I guess if all goes well, we get to talk about Dune again since we're going to Arrakis. That'll be kind of neat.
You seem to have cheered up again.
No, just kind of trying not to break down.
Good strategy. From what I know, breaking down right now would be bad, and humor is supposed to keep you humans from freaking out.
Yeah, fuck. Okay, start doing the math on how I'd have to maneuver to get the chip in their path, because I know that because of the electrical terms from turning in the dark, that I'm just gonna have to memorize it on the fly, right? Just gonna have to memorize a new procedure right now.
That's correct. I should ask, do you want me to stop recording? This is getting tense, and I know that people often don't like how they behave when stressed. Are you sure you want it recorded?
Oh fuck no, please keep recording. This is some good shit right now, proper unique. Um, and hey, if there's like a conspiracy afoot, we should probably get some word out, right? You know, it's our civic duty, yeah.
You just want the attention. Don't be self-righteous.
It's too obvious. Well, I don't know. It's probably good to get it out there, right? I don't know. That can be. We can make that decision later. But anyway, don't stop recording. We might want this.
Technically, you do have time to think it over. The maneuver will be possible for another bit.
Yeah, but the more we keep excited. Wait, cut the engines right now.
Okay, I've cut the engines.
I didn't mean to cut off. I was just thinking, the faster we get, more the electrical disturbance is going to be. So, more likely I'll fuck up the maneuver. So, if we cut the engines now, that's not a problem more. But I think the longer we wait, I'm just going to get more stressed out about it and more likely to fuck it up. So, do you have the math ready? Let's just start working on that now.
Yes, I do. I've calculated the exact movements you will need to make the correct turn. Keep in mind that because we are at an angle, the time when you turn the engine back on will affect our trajectory.
I know, I did some physics, remember?
Flunked. You told me to give you reminders on setup.
Okay, enough of that right now? Okay, just give me the mover.
Alright, you will need to hold the controller full right for 16.5 seconds. Then sweep left 90 degrees over 2.25 seconds. Hold at the top for 20.75, then go straight diagonal to full left over 1.5 seconds. Hit the button to turn the engine on as soon as that's finished.
Hit the metronome, disable the controls, guide my hands through the movements.
Okay. Full right. Sweep left. Hold. Zag left. On.
Alright, I'm at the center position. Turn the controls back on and put the computers in safe mode. I'm ready.
Alright. Good luck, Captain.
Thanks, mate. Got this. Okay. What's up there? Here's the little death that brings total obliteration. I'll face my fear. I'll permit it to pass over me and through me. No one has gone past, so I'll turn the inner eye to see its path. Where the fear is gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain. Alright, I'm going this next measure. Okay. I must have fear. Fear is the killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I'll face my fear. I'll permit it to pass over me and through me. No one has gone past, so I'll turn the inner eye to see its path. Where the fear is gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain. I must have fear. Fear is the killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I'll face my fear. Let it pass over me and through me. And when it's gone past, so I'll turn the inner eye to see its path. Where the fear is gone, there will be nothing. I must have fear. Fear is the killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I'll face my fear. I'll permit it to pass over me and through me. And when it's gone past, so I'll turn the inner eye to see its path. Where the fear is gone, there will be nothing. Only I.
Nerd.
Oh God, fuck.